All right, we're recording. Woohoo! Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm excited about this call. It's about fundraising, and I'm really passionate about fundraising for a couple of reasons, and I'll go through that here in a minute. So I got a little bit off track, not being able to find everything, so I just want to find my notes real quick. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this call because I was one of those people, and I know Sarah said this earlier too, that I was like, why would people do a fundraiser? When I first started, I'm like, why would people do that? You don't even get paid. You give the money to someone else. I don't understand why people would do that. And I started doing fundraisers, and it changed my business in so many different ways. One is just giving, being able to, give to others and help others out. I was blown away. Just being able to give. My husband and I, we do Scentsy together. So the last couple of years, we've given over, actually last year alone, we've given over $10,000 to local schools, which is pretty awesome. He actually teaches, so it's pretty awesome for to be able to help somebody else, a different organization and things like that. So I'm going to first start off with, why is fundraising a good idea? And then Sarah, I know you have a few on this too. So do you want to start?
Why fundraising? Yeah, I do. Okay, so.
And then I'll go on from there.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to give you guys more of if your mindset is, I don't need to do a fundraiser, I'm going to be more of that voice to you tonight. Madi's going to be more of the gritty stuff, like how to do it and how to work them. My biggest thing to you guys is, you may not get your commission from your fundraiser, but this is what you are going to get. You're going to get connections. You're going to build relationships. And from those connections and those relationships, you're going to get new customers. You're going to find new hosts. And you're also going to find new teammates. Mm-hmm. This gives you a huge window to expand in your network. Because when you go into an organization, no matter what it is, if you're doing it for a sorority, you're doing it for parents who have 4, 5, 6 kids in school, and they're needing to raise money for their sports outfits or whatever, or you want to do like a buddy drive to give back to the hospital, whatever it is, those people there are going to know so many more people, so it gets your network to grow. That's one thing I had to come to realize when I needed to start doing fundraisers. Another thing is, you're able to give back to your community, like Madi touched on. People are going to see on social media and hear about you when you're talking about your business, and one thing that's really going to stick out from you and everybody else is that you're involved in your community. You give more than you take, and that just sends a really positive vibe for them to want to get to know you and for you to become their Scentsy consultant. Another reason is, once you start really growing in your business, you're going to want tax write-offs. And fundraisers are a huge tax write-off. Everything you donate to this fundraiser, and I'm not even talking about just your commission, everything that you even put into the fundraiser, brochures that you buy, anything that you print to hand off flyers, order forms that you do, anything that you're giving to prepare for this is a tax write-off, and that is going to be a huge break for you come tax season, depending on where you are in your business. Another thing that I really wanted to touch base on is kind of how to go about doing that. And Madi, I don't know, I'm sure you'll probably touch more on this too.
Let's finish on the why do a fundraiser, and then we'll move on to how.
Okay, so mainly the big thing is, one is your business itself is going to grow.
Yeah.
You really want to be able to find new people to network with, to talk to share to, and not just as customers or hostesses, but to grow your team. A lot of the time you'll find people who want to join Scentsy to be able just to give back in their community, and this is a really good way to do it. And then, of course, the donations, the tax write-offs, and then really just to give back, to be able to give back to your community. Those are my big 3 reasons why.
Okay.
You want to elaborate a little more on them?
Yeah. Okay. So first off, I totally forgot we've not even introduced ourselves. So my name is Madi. I know there's girls on here that don't know me because you're on Sarah Caceres' team. I'm a star director. I've been doing Scentsy for 7 years. I've been
I'm
doing
just saying everybody knows this.
I know. I've been doing fundraisers for probably about maybe 5 of those years that I've been in. And then go ahead, Sarah, introduce yourself, and then I'll get into why it's a good idea. Oh, one more thing. I did teach on fundraising at SFR. And so the training you're going to get today is actually stuff that I taught on at SFR this last time around. Go ahead, Sarah.
I will backtrack a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm Sarah Caceres. I'm a star director with Team Sense Makes Sense. I've been with Scentsy for 3.5 years. January 1st will be 4 years. That was my New Year's resolution almost 4 years ago. It's kind of crazy to think about. My husband is military, so we travel around a lot. So having a home-based business is pretty awesome because you get to take it anywhere you go. And I wanted to introduce Maddie. Kind of did this backwards a little bit. Maddie, in my eyes, is like the fundraiser queen. She is, yes, she did a killer fundraiser last year. So I hope you guys are ready to take notes and really soak in everything that Maddie has to share with you guys tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Sarah. Yeah. That's an honor. You said that. So anyways, okay, let me give you a few more reasons why fundraising is a good idea.
Annual sales, touch on that.
Yes. So this is okay. I put again, these are my notes. So it's a great way to give back to the community. It goes along with the give more than you take, which is one of the things that we teach from Scentsy. And the other thing is it's great marketing. Everything you put out is marketing your business. So every catalog that ends up in some kid's home that grandma accidentally sees, everything that comes from your home is marketing. The product that goes out, you have the opportunity to put your label and all your information, so it's more marketing for you. It helps with promotions. When you're on that verge and you're like, man, I'm about to promote, I just had a little bit more to go. When you put that fundraiser in, boom, it puts you up to the next level. So if you're doing fundraisers and you're teaching your girls underneath you to do fundraisers, then obviously it's going to put you to the next level also, because they're doing it and you're doing it. So your group wholesale just grows. Guys, it helps with the trip points. If you're trying to earn Disney, if you're trying to earn the cruise, you get 1 point for every PRV. Can you imagine bringing in 2 fundraisers that are $11,000 each? That's like, boom. That's like, you're right there already. I mean, you only need 10,000 more points and you got it, or it'd be less than that. But anyways, so just imagine that. Let's see. People that you fundraise for will spread the word, and they'll get you more fundraisers and they'll get you more people. When people know you are doing good and you're a good person, it comes back to you, and people are like, man, I want to give business to Maddie because she gave, money to the local school. So just remember that. Let's see, you gain more customers. So you need to make sure you make it a point to follow up with your customers that you gain from these things, from fundraisers. And then, as Sarah said, helps you earn annual sales award. I've earned it every year since I started doing fundraising because it just gives you that extra PRV. I mean, you're easily, like I said, you get in 1 month, you do 2 fundraisers, you're almost there. You're only, and sometimes with some fundraisers, you'll even make it to annual sales in 1 month. Imagine that. That's crazy, huh? Being able to sell 30,000 in 1 month. Let's see. It's extra money. And I know you're kind of thinking like, wait, what? Extra money? You give your commission away. And you do give your commission away, but if it's over $2,000, you are going to get that extra 5% bonus. And you can decide how much you want to give away and how much you don't. And if you have promotions, you get extra money also. And then you earn the monthly bonus, which is that extra 5% that we talked about. It exposes you to new customers, as Sarah talked about already, and it exposes you to potential recruits. It also exposes you to potential hosts, which Sarah touched on all of those. So that's my why it's a good idea to do a fundraiser. So let's go ahead and move on to who can you fundraise for? And then we'll go into the hows after that, Sarah. Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So who can you fundraise for? Honestly, everybody asks me. I have some people like, who do you do fundraisers for? anybody who needs funds, anybody. It could be your grandma who's trying to buy a couch. If they need funds, do a fundraiser. Think of the GoFundMe. Everybody does a GoFundMe for like every little thing. It's the same thing. You can do a fundraiser for anybody. It does not have to be a certain organization. They don't have to have certain credentials, titles, anything. It's whoever needs money. My favorite one is schools because it's big volumes. I've done baseball teams. I've done Girl Scouts. I've done schools. I've done big, small dance studios. And my favorite is school. And it's because I'm able to let 500 students have my information in their hands. And that's like 500 employees working for me at once. Dance studios, football teams, baseball teams, Girl Scout teams, Boy Scout teams, churches, etc. Hopefully you guys are getting a picture, an idea as I'm talking about who you know in these organizations so that you guys can get fundraisers. Do you want to add to that, Sarah?
No, the way that I kind of go about with fundraisers too is referrals. And don't be afraid to ask. I mean, seriously, like, and I just did something.
I love the post you posted today.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. You can steal away. That's fine. So I made that post because I am actually trying to seek out fundraisers for the fall. Fall, you guys, is one of the best times. Mm-hmm. The fundraiser is good no matter what.
Fall and spring.
Yeah, fall and spring. You've got, spring. Yep. Spring, you can really hit on those like football, like sports fundraisers are really good. But fall is really good for me because everyone loves to order new stuff. So September, October timeframe is where everyone really hits up the fundraisers. So I did a post, and this is kind of a way for me to ask and see, and then each person who commented that was not a Scentsy consultant, I will reach out to and specifically touch on fundraising with them and how I can set one up for them. So what I did was I made a status that said, if you could have $500 to give to any organization that you could, which one would you choose? That right there is showing you the people that would love to raise funds for somebody in their local organization. And once they comment and they give a place that you can reach out to, talk to them, ask them if they have a personal connection, ask them why it is that they chose that organization. See what it is that's close to them and why they're doing it, and then build that relationship and see how you can get that started. It's really easy by starting something like that. So if you're shy to just sit there and reach out personally, like, hey, can I do this? Can we do this? Give that a try and see who reaches out to you. Another thing is referrals. Go ahead and straight up ask, hey, I am looking for referrals. I really want to give back more now that I have this business and I can give more to my community. I just need help finding out a way that I can do that. And then that way, when somebody does see somebody does see an organization asking for funds to be raised, you're who they're going to think of. Sarah just said this. Jesse just said this. Krista just said this. I can reach out to them and see if they want to help with the organization. Another thing that is really close to me, and I've done a couple of these. Now, this is specific to one item, which I normally tend to stay away from. I like to do, and we'll talk about this later, but I like to do usually an open catalog fundraiser. One other thing that I do love doing are buddy drives. So reach out to like local hospitals. And this is because you can give back to the children in the hospital and the nurses that are there helping. You can choose what you want to do with your money. You're giving the buddies as the part of the donation, but you can also write off and give to that like wing of the hospital if you want. You can do whatever way you want. But asking referrals, put up a status, let people know that you're looking for it. Go to my Facebook, see my post, and word it differently so we don't end up in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Because if I find out and I got put in Facebook jail, I'm not going to be happy. So just go take a look at it and see, and then just wait for people to start commenting, because there's people that comment on that post that honestly don't ever interact with my Scentsy posts at all. And once I reach out to them, I'll be able to connect a little bit more with them.
Love it. Okay, so let me expand on what you said, and then we'll move on to another subject.
Yeah.
I put, how do you get fundraisers? One of the main things is to know the benefits of a fundraiser. So a great way to get fundraisers is to know what's in it for them, the organization that you're funding for. So a lot of people, like, if you tell them what you're going to do for them and how it's going to benefit them, that's what's going to make them want to do it. So like for me, I sort everything for them. They don't have to. For me, I'm gonna gear this towards schools because, like I said, I love doing the schools. But so many PTAs and schools, they get boxes full of stuff, and then they have to find tons of volunteers to sort everything. The fact that I sort everything for them has put me over the top. I know that a lot of people in Scentsy are a little bit like, well, other organizations give more. These teachers don't care. They don't have to do anything at all. That's where you have the upper hand, because they might get more from another organization, but they're spending hours and trying to find people in there. So I sort everything for them. I organize it by classroom and by student. The money I make, I give my full commission to them, the full 25%. Don't be intimidated by other companies with bigger percentages. Scentsy sells more. So here's the thing is you may only be giving them 25%, but how many people buy Scentsy refills versus wanting to buy wrapping paper? Do you know what I'm saying? Like think about the product that we have and walk in with confidence. I use proposal letters for schools, teams, etc. And I will definitely post those on the team page, and I'll pass them over to Sarah so she can post them on your team page. One of the huge things is by relationships. You build relationships with those who are in charge first. That's the easiest way to get it. Most of my fundraisers has come out of me knowing somebody and offering them to help them. And then also by referrals. Those are my biggest ways. When I go into a school and I just try to drop off a packet, I have not had luck or success. It's by talking one-on-one with that person. And then listen for people's needs and offer to help them. Let's see. Mention that you do them everywhere you go. So when you're at a home party, that should be one of the things you mention. Hey, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys need to raise funds for anything, I do fundraisers. I get a lot of fundraisers that way by mentioning them at home parties. Mention them at your events. There's no reason why you can't have a sign that says something about fundraising, or when you're checking people out. Do you know, like as I'm checking people out, I'm constantly asking, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, really? Then I start talking about fundraising. So always listen and mention the fundraisers. Don't be scared to mention them. And then post when you're able to, like what Sarah did, and also post when you have done a fundraiser. You know, I'm so excited I was able to give this much to this company, Scentsy Rocks. You know, something like that.
That is not out of compliance. I just want to say that you are doing something that every single consultant can do. So you are allowed to say, I raised X amount of money for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that hopefully gives you guys a couple of ideas on how to get fundraisers. I know I added to what Sarah said. Do you have anything to add, or do you want to move on that?
No, something that I do, like you were touching on when you go in to hand the proposal letter. Mm-hmm. When I do, well, maybe not. I'm going to wait on this. I'm going to wait on this and talk more into the details. So we'll go to the next part. Yeah.
Okay. So, different ways to do a fundraiser. I feel like I get asked this all the time. Well, how do you do a fundraiser? What kind of ways do you do a fundraiser? The awesome thing is guess what? You're in charge once again. So you can do it as a party style. You can do it as a booth style. Like if you're at a basketball game and the basketball team wants you to set up a booth, you can do it which is setting up at their event. You could do it on a Facebook and do a Facebook party. You can do at a school or a team where each participant gets a packet, and they take the packets and they try to sell, kind of like the Girl Scout brochures. And you can also do different styles of fundraisers. So you got your Scentsy Buddy fundraiser, your Buddy Clip fundraiser, your Scent Circle fundraiser, your Car Bar fundraiser, and you got your entire catalog fundraiser, which my proposal letter lists all of those things. But I always, always, always discourage them to do any of them but an entire fundraiser. Hold on, we got some questions on here.
Okay, hey, Sammy, can you mute your phone end pretty please? I think you're in the car and it's really the road noise is loud. Thank you.
So anyways, that's a different fundraisers. And I'm going to explain to you why I do a full catalog and why I kind of discourage my customers. And again, everybody's different. You can run your business the way you want to. But I discourage my customers from doing like a Scent Circle fundraiser or a buddy fundraiser. And the reason why is because, and I'm not talking about a buddy drive, what Sarah was saying, this is separate.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will go into a preschool and they'll want to do like a buddy clip fundraiser, which sounds cool because it's a bunch of preschoolers there and that's awesome. All they have to do is sell buddy clips. But when you look at the big pictures of the big picture, Grandma Sue may not want a buddy clip. And if this, little 2-year-old is selling buddy clips to 500 people, it's not going to be that much. To 10 people, all those 10 people are not going to buy them all those buddy clips for them. You know what I'm saying? So if I offer the entire catalog, then Grandma might not want a buddy clip, but she may want a diffuser that's $130. Now, I feel that if I only offer a buddy clip, then I lose out on the $120 because a buddy clip it's less. Buddy clip's $15. So I, miss out on $115 sale is how I see it. So I offer the entire catalog. I feel like we have, we can sell to men, women, children, everything in between. And I feel like if I narrow it down to one thing, Grandma may not drive anymore, so she may not want a Scent Circle, but Grandma may want a warmer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to limit. I would never walk into a home party and just show Scent Circles. I would show the whole entire catalog. So that's kind of my take on it and why I always discourage my customers from doing a specific fundraiser for a specific product. Do you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, I always offer anything that I can because some people want just one thing to keep it simple. Simplicity is huge. So it comes back to wanting to ask, how is this going to benefit you as in the organization? Mm-hmm. So I get a feel for how they want to run it and what they want. But one thing that I do always do, no matter what style it is, open catalog, a single product, if they want brochures, just a catalog, party, whatever they want, I always try to get them connected on social media with me because I want to create a Facebook event. And the reason I do this, I'm really comfortable with marketing my business on the internet, with social media.
That's where she's the queen. Queen of social media and selfies.
Selfies, yeah. But that's where I know that even if I'm a little hesitant in something else with the fundraiser, I can draw them in at that level. And there's also other people in the organization that you're raising for that will be more on social media than they were any other way. This allows me to also, after the fundraiser is done, to stay connected with them. They're going to be able to build a further relationship with me past just needing to order some bars and wax to raise the money. They're going to be able to see how I incorporate my business into my everyday life. So that's one huge reason why I like to do that. The other thing that I talked about earlier was the buddy drives. And honestly, the only reason I like to do that is just because that's one thing that's just really near and dear to me. I love being able to give kids these buddies on just the wing. So it's already set in stone. It's like, okay, these are the available buddies that we have. Give me a list of what you like. I'm going to pass out a flyer and show you what it is. These are limited editions, so have a backup B and C buddy in case A sells out. And they don't care. They really don't. They normally they're going to give you a donation, a cash donation, and say put it towards however many you want, and then it just goes that way. So I do that because it's easy. You guys, it's
a drive. You're actually giving the product away. So
yes, the entire product is going to them. And not only that, I'm also giving them the commission. I am also still donating what is raised. And when they find out that they're getting product and a donation, it skyrockets their interest to want to sell and move more or even purchase more themselves.
I'm going to give an example of that same type of thing that I do, Sarah, that is another fundraising thing that I do. I have an organization that what this organization does is they package care packages to people overseas, military people overseas. And one of the things that they had asked for was room sprays. And the reason why is because it stinks really bad over in Afghanistan. And so they were asking for room sprays. And so that is one of my fundraisers, is that people buy room sprays, and then I go over and take it over to this organization. They package them up and they send them over there. So at that point, I sell only room sprays, and then I give them the commission also so that they can use it for the shipping, because they always need funds for shipping. But that's just an example of like the buddy drive. It's the same style concept.
You're still raising funds, but you're also giving them a product that they're going to be able to enjoy and appreciate. Exactly. And again, that's a way for you to make sure once you get everything in, you're labeling and smacking on all your information on everything. So that's product that they get to share and show everyone else.
And believe it or not, I had a lady contact me from Afghanistan and asked to order some stuff for me. I told her, I said, I cannot guarantee it's going to get to you since he doesn't ship over there. She's like, I don't care. Will you please do it? And I ended up shipping a box to her without guaranteeing that it was going to get there safely, but it did. So, all right. I'm going to move on to once you get a fundraiser, how important it is to keep it organized and how to keep it organized. And we will open it up for questions if you guys feel like we've kind of skipped through some stuff. Excuse me. So once you have a fundraiser, keep it organized. The goal is to make it as smooth as possible for the fundraising coordinator. You will have a fundraising coordinator. So you want to keep it as smooth as possible. And this is mostly when you're doing, like, it's going to be like your team mom when you're doing a sport. That's your fundraising coordinator. It's going to be, I don't know, the booster club, the president of the booster club. It's going to be the teacher that's in charge of the seniors, because you're doing the seniors, you know. So you want to keep it as simple as possible to them. And let me tell you why. The reason why is because they're going to be the one that's booking the fundraiser for you the next year. So if they like you, if you shower them with Scentsy products, because that's what I do, part of the free stuff I get, I make a nice basket for my fundraiser coordinator and say, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to do this for you guys. So keep it as organized as possible for them. This is one of the reasons they return. Ask questions up front to them. You want things to be clear, and don't be afraid to ask them questions. A lot of times we get excited because, oh my gosh, I got this fundraiser, I'm so excited, and you kind of don't want to bug them and ask them a bunch of questions. I have a fundraiser coordinator question form that I fill out as I'm talking to them. It literally is like, name, what's the best way to contact you, their phone number, how they want the fundraiser done. Are they going to use credit cards, cash only? What kind of prizes are we going to give out? And I'm going to get into that a little bit right now.
That's what I was going to touch on too earlier.
Yeah, because prizes, a lot of people think just Scentsy. So I'm going to give out, you know, a warmer to the top seller. When you have a fundraiser that has kids, they don't care about a Scentsy warmer. They don't care about all these things. So what I do is, that's one of the things I talk to my fundraising coordinator about. What is it that your organization would like? So they're going to work for something that they would like. So I'm going to give you some examples of things I do. Gift cards. Teenagers love gift cards. They love money. So I give gift cards. We give tickets to prom away, because I do one for seniors. So we give tickets to prom away. We give, like, highest seller gets an amount of gift cards. The next one gives us another, like a lower amount. And the third one, I may give a Scentsy warmer to. The other thing that we do is class parties. Whoever gets the highest sales gets a pizza party, things like that. So just think outside the box when it comes to prizes. Some people, I have not done this, but I'm thinking about incorporating it next time. If they sell over $100, they get something. And at that point, you can do Scentsy. That way you're not taking out of your own stuff. You know what I mean? But, like, you know, if you sell over $100, you get a car bar, a room spray, something that you think, you really got to think, step back and say, what is this organization, or the kids that I'm dealing with, or the people that I'm dealing with, what are they going to appreciate more? And your fundraiser coordinator is where you're going to get that information from. I wasn't meaning to go on all that tangent about that right then and there. So let me get back on track, and then we'll go back to that stuff. Let's see. I give a packet to each participant, and I try to make it as again, organized as possible. So I'm going to show you guys what I do. I do a showcase brochure because I told you guys I like to do the entire catalog. So I do a showcase brochure, and then I have a packet. This packet right here, I make copies of it at Office Depot. They staple it and sort it and everything for me. I used to literally have to get all the pages, but I'm going to show you what's in this 3-page packet. One is the instructions, and I will give you guys a copy of this. It just literally says Scentsy fundraising information, start date, end date, what type of payment I take, what my delivery date's going to be, estimate how long it's when the fundraiser closes, and an estimate about how long. And honestly, I double pack that. Like, so if I don't tell them 2 to 3 weeks, I tell them like 3 to 4 weeks. And the reason why is because when I'm having like a $11,000 fundraiser, it takes me a week to separate the fundraiser because you have that much product. All participants of the fundraiser, I end up, okay, so this is what I tell them. Make sure that they give me their name, their phone number, and everything so I can get back to them, because you'd be surprised how many times I get a wrong order and I have to call the customer, which I love because then I get to connect with that customer. This is a good thing, guys. I put my website on here, how they end up being able to place an order on the website. Okay, one of the reasons I use a showcase brochure, not a regular brochure, is because there's no combined and saves in here.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually a good thing. This means your organization is going to make more money. So if someone orders a combine and save because they're familiar with Scentsy, I'll go ahead and give it to them, but I don't promote them. The only thing I do promote on here is a 6-pack. And then I talk to them about the prizes and what they're going to get, because you always want to tell them what's in it for them. And then the other thing, and then that's the close of that. And then I created this. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I will give you guys a copy of it. This right here is a order form that I have made on an Excel spreadsheet. It's got 4 order forms on it, and I put 2 of those in each packet. That way it's a lot cheaper for me than to use Scentsy's order forms. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what that looks like. But I will actually give you guys a copy of this so you guys will be able to literally put your information on here. It's got my information on top. So that's what that is. So let's see. Sorry, guys. And the last thing is I present all this to my students on a PowerPoint presentation. I literally do a rally for the students. We've done it when we've done one for choirs, and the choir teacher gathers them after school. And I've done it where I've done it during school. And I make a PowerPoint and I tell them all about the Scentsy fundraiser, what a warmer is, what a diffuser is, major thing, what's in it for them, what are their prizes, what is the goal that goal coordinator gave me to give to them. You know, like, okay, you're you know, whatever their name is, Miss whatever wants you to raise, he wants each of you to sell $150 or $200. Anyways, all that is explained to them during that time. Sarah, do you have anything to add on that, all that?
No, I mean, basically hit everything. The big thing that I wanted to share too is I don't do combine and saves either. Even if I do an open catalog, my open catalog is that brochure that Madi just shared. One, if I'm mailing stuff, because I do fundraisers too that aren't necessarily quite local to me, or I have people who are local, but they have family who want to order but want to flip through stuff. So it's easy to mail, super cheap. And then there's no combine and saves. But if they do ask, I do honor it. But I am not going to be like, oh, by the way, save your money and go with this bundle over here, because that takes the donation away from them.
Yes.
I only do the 6-pack of bars. I don't even do a 3-pack of bars.
Oh yeah, I only do the 6-pack either. And you know what? That's not even going to be an option anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, that one is kind of hard only because everybody knows about the 6-pack.
Yeah, no, I do offer the 6-pack. That's all I offer. But I'm saying the 3-pack is not even going to be an option.
No.
Let's see. Trying to think. Okay, best practices for getting sales and following up. I'll let you start this one and I'll finish. If you have something to say about it.
So,
hey, just FYI, I spoke about this at reunion, so I have all my notes and stuff like that. Sarah's shooting from the hips, and she's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I'm kind of winging it over here.
If you
want to talk about how to get sales and follow up.
Yes.
The biggest thing with how to get sales, honestly, is going to be making sure you tell everybody what it is they're working for. They need to have an end goal. They need to see that finish line. They need to know where they're going. If they don't know where they're going, they're literally just going to kind of not care. They're not going to have any, they're not having anything to work for. Yeah, they want to raise money for an organization, but that's not them specifically. And especially if you're working with younger kids, they're selfish and they want to know what's in it for them. Yeah. So in order to boost those sales, make sure you're communicating with them. Another thing with sales is make sure that you have laid it out and made it easy for them to understand. Another way that's another reason why I don't do combine and saves, because it's just easier for them to say, I want this warmer and this bar. They don't have to sit here and worry about what warmer goes in what package and what they can and cannot get. It eliminates that completely. The other thing for me personally comes back to the Facebook and setting up an event. By doing that, I can actually display and show how things work. I can show how a diffuser works. I can let them see things in action, because seeing it is a lot more powerful than flipping through a catalog or a brochure. It really and truly is. When it comes to follow-ups, this is really, really important, you guys. Follow-ups in every single thing that you do with your business is huge. I actually just started a brand new follow-up system that I'm working on, and I within the last 3 weeks, and it's already gotten me really good feedback. But you want to make sure that you're touching base with them to follow up, because everyone who orders from you, they're going to need more. Maybe they don't know that there's a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. So what I do when I follow up with people with my fundraisers is I call them personally, or I shoot them a message. I always find out how they want to be communicate with me one-on-one. And I tell them I'll call them and I'll leave them a voicemail if that's the best way. I say, I have a quick question about the fundraiser order you placed with so-and-so's fundraiser. Can you please call me back? I don't say what it is. I don't say, it's just to say thank you. I don't say that, because when they hear that, they're like, oh, did she forget something in my order? I need to see, I need to find out what's going on. And then I call and then I tell them, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Let you know about the lifetime manufacturer's warranty, this, that, and the other. Building a relationship with them even after the fundraiser has closed, and that's going to be huge. I feel like there's something else with that, but honestly, that's all I do. I keep it super simple, you guys. My fundraisers are very, very simple.
And you want to do simple. That's awesome. That's how they want to be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add to that. Again, like Sarah said, you want to set the goal for them. That's key. But talk to your fundraising coordinator, because they will have a goal. And if you ask them, what is your goal for each of your students to make? How much do you want to make out of this fundraiser? Then you could break it down. Okay, well, in order for you to make that, each student needs to sell this much. And you can put it out. I give prizes for the top 3 in sales, pizza party, which I've already talked about. And then my follow-ups are a bit different. And I am trying to figure out a better way to follow up with my customers, because I have some fundraisers that are 500 students. So to follow up with that many order forms and stuff and is really hard. So one of my follow-ups is I actually do emails. I do email campaigns and actually post links for them to go in and order a 6-pack and things like that. That's one of my huge follow-ups. But I do try to communicate with some of them, but it's hard to get, when you have a fundraiser that's that massive, it's hard to get everybody into that, if that makes sense. So I think that's about it for that. I'm going to move on to effective ways to gather information. And you might be completely different on this, Sarah. For me, I'm trusting all these high school students to get all these people's information for me, which makes it kind of hard. So one of the easiest ways to do it, honestly, is a PowerPoint presentation, and show them everything that needs to be filled out and stress to them why. Because in case something's messed up, I can get a hold of them, and stuff like that. But one of the other things is also highlighting. You can, when you do that PowerPoint presentation, you can actually highlight certain areas.
Highlighting is what I do.
A bit more when you're doing those, when you're doing color.
Yeah, well, I do, and it doesn't even have to be color highlight. If you take a yellow highlighter and highlight over. It's light enough when it's printed and copied that it's just like a gray, but you can still see what it's supposed to be. Or another way that I did it was I did one sample order form and attached it to each packet that I gave. That can become a little tricky, but I promise you it's worth the effort, because I've only had, the last one I did was it was for a dance studio here, and there was 50 packets that I had to do. That's really not a lot compared to, 500, but 50 is still a good bit for you to sit there and have to do all that with your own hands.
Yeah.
But I take one order form and I will fill it out myself, and then I will copy, and I'll make 49 other copies, and I'll attach it to each packet, and I will highlight the one packet before I make a copy. And it prints off to where you can still see what the order form is. And I stress every time when I hand it to somebody, I have to have these order forms filled out exactly like the copy that I gave you. It needs to look just like this. And I tell them that is the way I get to follow up with them. That's the way that if something's wrong with their order, they ordered a scent and I didn't catch it before I put it in, that we don't have, I have to be able to have their contact information. When you stress it and they understand why you need that, they're more, they understand more, and they're more open-minded to making sure that it's all filled out.
And that does happen almost every fundraiser I have. They'll end up putting scents that are gone, and the reason why is because they'll go, oh yeah, I need a refill, and these are the ones I like, and they haven't been around since.
They don't, yeah.
But they're gone. So
right, or they don't care to look, and they're just like, oh, I like all of, what's the scent that's leaving? Summer Holiday. Give me all those, and we don't have that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to move on to this, and then if we want to add anything and open it for questions, I would love to hear your guys' questions to make sure that we answer what you have. How much do you give? How much do I give? You give as much as you want. It is completely up to you. If you want to give 5%, give 5%. If you want to give 10%, give 10. If you want to give 25, give 25. If you want to give 30, give 30. It is completely up to you. The money is coming out of your commission. Scentsy does not give any money towards it. So it is completely up to you how much you give. And then, man, I lost track. There was something else I wanted to add to that. Well, it'll come back to me. Sorry, I'm old. I'm 40. And sometimes it just goes away.
It'll come back.
What'd you say?
It'll come back.
It will. It'll come back. It will.
Probably once we're already done, it'll come back.
So
with the commission. So what I do, I know Maya touched on it earlier, but just in case you didn't catch it.
Okay, hold on. Just remind me about tax-free.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because just remind me that, and that'll put me all into what I was going to say.
Tax-free?
Yes, that's all you have to remind me.
Okay. So if your organization sells $2,000 or more, that specific organization, you can offer 30% commission. So what I do is, and again, just like Marty said, it's totally up to you with how you want to run it. It's your business. It's your fundraiser for them. You can offer, if you are certified or above, 25%, you can offer your whole commission. But stress to them and share them that if you guys sell $2,000, I get to offer you 5% more on your donation. And that 5% can go a really long ways, guys. Now, something I do with the, when you have all these orders coming in, you're going to get rewards.
Well, if it's $2,000, that 5% is $600.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a big chunk of change.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, you get rewards. So something that I do, if depending again on who the fundraiser is for. So when I did the dance studio, it was for kids. It was mainly the parents doing the fundraiser, but I let the kids get to pick out what they wanted because they were old enough to understand, like, oh, they have buddies, I want a buddy, or they were old enough to want a warmer in their room and their mom finally said yes, like whatever it was. I did the top 3 sellers and I offered the host rewards to them to get whatever they wanted. So you can do whatever you want, but normally you're going to get to keep those rewards. So I always offer my whole commission to it because then that gives me my stock for what I need for other things.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit too because I have a lot of people that are constantly telling me, why would you do a fundraiser? You don't make any money. And let me tell you guys, when you have an $11,000 fundraiser,
You get a lot of
A lot
stock.
of Scentsy product and a lot of stock that I turn around and use for events.
Yep.
So, and when you do several of those, then you have a lot of product that you can sell and a lot of product that you have on hand. So don't feel like, man, this is not a good idea. You know, I'm giving all my commission away, because you do make more money in the long run. And then the other thing I wanted to add was, if you feel that you want to give the 30%, that's fine. I'm going to tell you why I don't do it. And it's a little bit different for me in the volume that I'm doing. When I go make all my copies and everything, and by the time I'm done buying my packets, I do 25%, because it does cost me a couple of $100 for all that stuff. So don't feel like, oh man, they made 30, I have to give them 30.
No, yeah, my organizations that I do are much smaller than Maddie's. Now, if I'm having to put $400 out for a huge organization, that is a huge plus side, you guys. Like, don't let that number scare you, because the benefit you're going to get from that is way more than that.
Exactly.
I will not do my 30% commission for that reason. I mean, I don't want you to think that you have to.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I want to clarify, because people have asked me that. They're like, well, what if they hit over the 2,000? And I'm like, no, I don't, because I do spend quite a bit of money on, and that's why me doing a colored copy versus a non-colored copy is a huge deal to me, because when I'm looking at printing, 500 packets that are sorted, stapled, and everything, that makes a big difference for me.
Yeah.
So I offer my 25%, and that's why when I do a smaller fundraiser, which I have, I will be more apt to offering the 30%. So
Then we can talk about tax-free.
Okay, great. That's a great. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so people have asked, and yes, they can be done. So some organizations, they are tax exempt, and people have asked if we can do tax exempt fundraisers, and we can. Most of mine are actually tax exempt. A lot of times the school is able to do one tax exempt fundraiser. So sometimes they'll say yes, they want to use it on you, and sometimes they say they won't, and you go ahead and charge taxes. But we can do a tax exempt fundraiser, which means we do not charge the students any taxes. But they have to have a tax exempt form. Okay, that's the first thing. They have to have a check. So basically, let me back up. Okay. The way that a tax exemption works is that you are basically selling the product to the person that is tax exempt. So you're not selling it to all the customers. You're actually selling it to the school, because the school's tax exempt. So the way that it works when it's tax exempt is that they actually turn the money into the school. The school turns around and cuts me a check. So what I have to show Scentsy is I got to show them a copy of the check. I got to show them a copy of the tax exemption form that's from the school. The way it has to be inputted is a little bit different. I have to input it as one giant order made to the school, not each individual customer. And then Scentsy will go in, if you call them and you let them know, I need to get the taxes removed, they'll go in and they'll take the taxes off you after you send them that stuff for the one large order. So that's what I wanted to clarify, that we can do a tax exempt, but it's a little bit different in the fact of the way you input it.
That's one I've never done myself. So
yeah.
No.
So if you guys have, I want to open up the mic here. If you guys have any questions, I know that was a lot of information that we kind of went over. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Unmute yourself.
I know there were some that hopped off that were actually getting ready to do some more fundraising, so we might have questions later that come.
Okay.
Oh.
Anybody here have any questions?
Is anybody looking to do a fundraiser or wanting to do a fundraiser? I know when I first started, I was like, oh, I can't do fundraisers. I can't handle other people's money with responsibility of getting the right order and whatnot. Like, it was scary to me. It really was.
Well, just FYI, I don't handle any money at all when it comes to my school fundraisers.
Well, I don't now.
Because they go directly to the school.
Yeah, my mind was, when I was starting, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, you know what? I need to treat this like a home party. I'm just hosting a party for all these people. And that really like made it okay. I wasn't like stressed out about it anymore.
So I guess I have a question for you guys. Do you guys, after this call, feel like, man, I can go out and do this? Or is it still overwhelming?
I feel like I could do it now.
Sweet, Krista. I love it. Do you have anybody that you're planning or that you have connection with that you can approach?
The school here, a couple of the organizations at the school are thinking about it, but they're still a little bit hesitant because Scentsy, nobody seems to know what it is, but they all seem to know I'm the crazy lady that drives the Jeep all decked out in Scentsy. So, you know, I've been here.
I'm not knowing what it is a huge plus, though. Because once they find out what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is them knowing it is a plus because I get to teach them, but what I keep running into is, oh, I just get it at Walmart. You've got to remember I'm in a teeny tiny farm community, so small that 3 cities, 3 towns, we share one zip code.
I'm from
so
that. We have a little one-stop right town, right? Yeah. It's easier just to go spend $3 versus $5. Yeah.
And the moon goes in between.
Jesse, did you have any other questions? Because I know you had some earlier and you had walked away for a second.
For the open catalog, do we donate just our commission, or do we still do kind of like the? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Or do you like, do we do like how we do the scent circles where you like $7 or whatever goes to the organization, and like, or is it just like straight commission that we donate?
So yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, you basically donate your commission.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
So they can order anything from the catalog, and then we just donate our commission.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
That's how you do it.
Perfect.
And
I would say one thing, Maddie. On the fundraisers that I have done, which I don't think you guys really touched on, but maybe you can, you know, have more information. The small fundraisers that I have done, the biggest plus is that you can set up a party on your workstation and they can invite people from all over the United States. Like the Camp Pendleton daycare, just the daycare or the people around Camp Pendleton. It could be grandma in New York that could buy Scentsy, have it shipped right to her door, and the daycare still got the money.
Yes, and just to touch on that too, Krista, when I do my schools, I offer that. You just need to make sure you let them know, and in my instructions it says that with doing a tax-free one, that if they order online, they will get charged. They will get charged shipping, and they will get charged tax if they order online, because Scentsy can't take those off afterwards. But definitely you want to let everyone know that it's online also.
But yeah, that's something else too. I guess to say is every single fundraiser gets a party. A lot of the times people just want to order and have instant set, like they just want to help, but they want their stuff too. They don't want to deal with waiting. They don't want to deal with any of the extra stuff. They just want to order something, do their part, and be done. Which is not what you want, but it is what some people just rather do. So I do create a link, just like a party, for every single fundraiser that I do. And then because they ordered online, you're able to do your follow-up easier with them anyway. Everything is already on the link station to go through later.
Yeah, and just FYI, when you create your party page, you can deck that out. If it's a cheerleading team, put them on there cheering. Let them know that when they get to that party page, you know, it's got videos and everything else on there.
And if you can do, it's like you can actually go make like a 30-minute clip. And a fun thing to do with those that I just thought about for a fundraiser is put in pictures of whatever the fundraiser's for. Like if you get a fundraiser for a local, oh God, why can't I think of the name? Like an animal shelter. God, brain fart horribly over here. If you have like an animal shelter, do a 30-minute clip of everybody at the shelter, pictures through that, and explain what the fundraiser's for. Do a cover photo on PicMonkey or Canva, which are really easy to use, and make it personal to them so that when people are going, they know what they're shopping for, they know what they're supporting.
Yeah. I'm excited to get into that this year and really personalize those pages for my organizations that I'll be doing fundraisings for. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording real quick.